Joining me now, Qihai Huang, who is a professor of entrepreneurship and management at UK's Keele Business School, and Sedat Aybar, who is the director of Istanbul Aydın University's China Research Center. Gentlemen, welcome to Straight Talk. It's good to have you here. So Chinese Railway Express has become the first freight train to pass 2 continents and 10 countries only in 18 days. And it's also the first freight train to have used Turkey's subsea tunnel, Marmara, which provided an important shortcut. Qihai, I want to start with you. Tell me, how significant is this train's history, and is it a game changer?
Well, apparently, as you have just mentioned, the Belt and Road Initiative is a grand initiative which aims to link many countries in Asia, Africa, and also Europe. Mm-hmm. So this is, of course, a significant milestone of the development itself, indicating the further development of the project. And the Belt and Road Initiative itself, as you know, has 6 different economic corridors. Yes. And Turkey, no doubt, is in the central position of the middle corridor of the development. So that's why, to me, yeah, of course, it is a very significant development. And
without Turkey, would it be possible?
Well, I wouldn't say without Turkey it is possible. No doubt, as I said, there are 6 different routes or corridors, and no doubt this is a most important part of the 6 corridors. That's why taking the geographical advantage of the country itself, it plays a very important role itself, and also, no doubt, it can benefit from this initiative.
What's in it for Turkey, Sedat?
A lot. This is like a dream come true, actually. It has been in the making for such a long time. Now the train has arrived in Turkey. It passed through Turkey, through the Bosphorus, and then into Europe. Of course, this is going to bring Turkey a very much needed upgrading of its infrastructure as far as transportation is concerned. Part of it is relating to railways, part of it to ports and airports. Now, this is an integrated project, and it provides Turkey with an opportunity to patch up its infrastructure gap. But not only this, it also brings Turkey some benefits that goes beyond economic sphere. It brings benefits as far as geopolitics is concerned, and it brings Turkey benefits to improve its particularly renewable energy side of its economy. So therefore, the benefits that Turkey is going to generate from this arrival of this train is multi-layered. It is a multi-dimension, and part of it is relating to infrastructure, but partly it is relating to upgrading Turkey's productive capacity, and that production is involving energy.
Yeah, because we know some of Turkey's Western friends deny Turkey this technological transfers. So can Turkey obtain this through its relations with China? And also, when we take a look at the trade volume between Turkey and China, it's not in favor of Turkey. So will this be fixed with this project, or at least we can attain some kind of more balanced trade?
Well, personally, I believe so. As you mentioned, the initiative itself aims to increase connectivity, but also cooperation. As you said, at the moment, probably the trade surplus is towards the Chinese side. But again, with the further development, and also with the further development of the route, and including the countries and areas, including the areas within Turkey, no doubt, there are more opportunities for instance, Turkey to export more products. Interestingly, this morning I came across a gentleman who told me his son works in China, helping the Turkish company exporting products to China, attend the 2nd International Import Expo. So that's why we have many different products. And of course, the economies between the two countries can complement each other.
Is
But we
is there a danger of another spillover of cheap Chinese products dominating Turkey, which we've experienced during the 1990s and in the beginning of the 2000s?
Personally, I don't believe so. Firstly, of course, we know with the development of the Chinese economy itself, the so-called upgrading its production. So, and of course, more and more Chinese
no more
companies.
cheap
Well,
products.
I wouldn't say no more cheap, but again, still comparatively cheaper than many Western countries.
So we see some European countries are quite prudent in joining this Belt and Road Initiative, saying that it might divide the European Union, which is already divided. But if it all goes well, could we expect to see goods traveling not only from east to west, but from now on west to east? What do you
Absolutely.
make of it?
I mean, this is a two-way street. There isn't one-way street that comes goods coming from China into Europe and it's flooding European market, but it's also a two-way street. Goods from Western Europe goes back to China, and that is actually a integration of Pacific with Atlantic. That is geographical space brought together with this BRI in the sense that goods and services can be exchanged through this. So that initiative provides such an opportunity both ways. But just to add on to this, whether Turkish market will be flooded with cheap goods, but Turkey is providing as a logistical hub to the BRI, especially after this arrival of the train and that railway route opened up. Now, Turkey is providing logistical hub to the Chinese goods, not only through railways, but also through airports and ports, the harbors. And these are also in the process of being upgraded and renewed. So, yes, there is a danger of, there is always a danger of Turkish market being flooded with the cheap Chinese goods, but Turkey needs to come up with a trade strategy to prevent this, or rather to create a win-win situation, mutually beneficial situation.
That's what China says, yes.
For the trade.
Yes.
Therefore, it's onerous on us to come up with a strategic trade
That's
policy.
on Turkey's part. But on China's part, there is this Western narrative that China uses this project as a form of coercive debt trap diplomacy for the countries who join BRR. Do you agree in that?
No, to me, I totally disagree with this. I don't know what's the right word, accusation or what. If you look at the assumption, firstly, the reality. So including, of course, two key examples have been used, Sri Lanka and also Kenya.
Yes.
But again, I have just done check. For instance, in the case of Sri Lanka, actually not debt owned China, instead only to Western countries. Instead, they have to pay back. Secondly, if you check I found the first African check, the reality is, of course, firstly, Kenya didn't own China so much, so only 20%. Still, of course, many Western countries, loan to Kenya. And the other point, of course, this is basically assumption to me, interestingly, only Chinese devils or evils who are clever, or Western leaders, Western people are stupid. If you have a trap for me, I go ahead. No doubt, because we need to work together. And also, that's interesting, when I did my project in Kenya, people say, because we need investment for infrastructure.
Because if these investments are not materialized, project will be doomed, and so China will be in serious problem. Last question, Sedat, where do you see Turkey in the short future within this project, of course?
I think Turkey is at the heart of this project. I mean, Turkey is provided that Turkey has a geography like this. It's strategically important. Turkey is very much at the heart of this, an important partner of the project itself, and can provide a lot of contribution to the project itself. In the meantime, benefiting from the progress of the project.
All right, gentlemen, we're out of time, unfortunately. Thank you very much for joining me on Straight Talk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.